Welcome back, everybody, to another week of the Weekly DLC. My name is Kurosh. I'm one of your hosts for this podcast. I'm like joined always by my co-host Daniel Vargas.
Hello.
And my other co-host Daniel Chang.
Not today.
Not today. He's not my co-host today. No one is my co-host today. If you're not familiar with what we do, we come to you each and every Monday to podcasting services of your choice. And we sit around a table, we talk nerdy stuff, sometimes spoilery, sometimes not spoilery. Today is very spoilery. This is episode 117, part 1. We're doing 2 spoiler casts this week instead of the normal rigmarole.
Keeping it simple for us.
Yeah, it keeps it simple for us, keeps it simple for you. It's going to be 2 episodes, so if you have seen or are interested in Game of Thrones, you could just watch this one. If you want to watch the Endgame Avengers spoiler cast, that's the part 2.
And then part 1's going to include our weekly.
Just our weekly chit chat. And I could maybe, I don't know, I'm not going to do that. That's more work. So yeah, with that, know that from this point forward, this episode is a spoiler cast of the latest episode of Game of Thrones, the third episode of the last season of Game of Thrones and everything up until this point.
The Game
So
of Thrones.
you've been warned. No, going forward, spoilers of Game of Thrones. We're not talking Avengers in this one.
Spoilers
of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
We got this.
We got this. It's back, baby.
I still think that's the best title. I've seen every other podcast. There was one cool, Azor a Hype. That was cool.
Oh, shit.
We Got This is still the best title.
So for people that don't know, we tried to do a YouTube thing.
What?
We
did?
Back in the day.
A Twitch thing, too.
for Game of Thrones, we tried to do just like discussions after Game of Thrones episodes
What
are over.
season was it?
3, I think. 3 or 4. No, it was much later.
It wasn't that long ago, was it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, we started the podcast 2 years. So
Yeah.
it has to be within the 2 years.
Yeah, but season 3 of Game of Thrones was way before 2 years.
Was it?
Yeah.
This show's been gone for 2 years.
Anyways, we named it We Got
It
This.
was last season, probably.
Yeah.
And it failed miserably. So we have no clue. We can do podcasting. We can't do like video stuff, dude. It's just
We can't do video stuff. Like, who does video stuff?
we slowly implemented that, but like that We Got This. We tried right away, and we're like, we don't know how to use
The
Skype.
wigs?
We have no clue.
That was the best. The title, the wigs.
We were like, we'll do the Hall of Faces, and we'll put our faces in the thing. We couldn't even fucking do that.
We're like, put mine here. Yeah. Anyway, this episode, guys, what'd you think?
Do you want to tell me what my day was like first, though?
That's gonna be after.
All right.
It's a long night first.
All right.
That's the name of the episode, the long night. Top level brief.
Dude, straight off the bat, I don't think like enough important people died.
Yes.
I was disappointed in that. But the thing is,
But did you like the episode?
I liked the episode. I think they're going to write, obviously, like certain deaths they've already haven't written for later episodes, I think is what's going on.
You don't think they have it written?
No, I do think they have them written.
Okay.
So I think that's why this didn't happen. But like, yeah, like just there was not a single like huge character that I would consider and like, I don't know.
Except for Jorah, I can't think of a major character.
Yeah, that's true.
that
Okay.
died.
Jorah.
Theon?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I forgot about it.
They've both been in
that was a cool.
And Ed. I know Ed's not like with the main group.
The only
but
two major characters, Daenerys and Jon Snow.
those 3 have been in it since season 1.
When Bran told him he was a good man, I was like, that dude just signed
That's
his
closure.
death warrant.
That's closure.
I legit, in my head, was saying, what is dead may never die. Like, I got chills. I was like...
They're multiple.
That was a good redemption. So with Theon's thing, I thought he was gonna kill Euron, but that didn't happen.
They did a throwback, I would call it a callback to, because Theon saves Bran with his bow. He saves him in where was it?
The Wildlands.
Yeah, the Wildlands.
Yeah, I remember that.
And now here he was like saving him with the bow as well, obviously. And yeah, like
that was a good redemption for Theon.
They went back to the beginning. He's like, dude, Brant, everything you did has brought you to here.
You're a good man.
To protect me.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning then. Jang, you liked it? Or I know you said about the death stuff, but how'd you feel just quick top level? You enjoyed it? Didn't enjoy it?
I felt like the writing could have been better. Like, that battle should have been crazy. I mean, a lot of people did die. But I don't know, just
Mountain.
the way. Okay, we'll get into it, but the way Night King got defeated, I was just like,
Did you like the episode?
I liked it. Okay. I liked it.
No, it's fine. If you did like it, I just wanted to know, like,
it could have been. I feel like George R. R. Martin did not write that.
He liked it, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, no. You have grapes.
Yes.
I don't think I've been that immersed in a piece of television in a long time.
I mean, I had to be really close to the TV because I couldn't fucking see shit.
You had that issue? I did not have. Well, okay. Let's go into the brightness then. That's a good topic. I know that's been a topic on a lot of people's minds, is not being able to see, and whether that's a creative decision or it's a complaint. Did you feel like it was more of the complaint, or were you, like, to me personally, I'll start. It felt like that was the intent, is that they can't see. Mm-hmm. They're facing literal darkness, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck's out there, and there's a horror element to it. And I sort of was just like, I can kind of not see it. It wasn't to the point where I couldn't see anything, but I couldn't decipher if someone was making it. I couldn't decipher if, whenever I saw, like, maybe Jamie or Brienne, I was like, wait, are they killing something, or is something, like, stabbing them? I'm like, this is fucking chaos. There's, like, pure chaos. So I felt like, to me, I was like, that's the intent.
Yeah.
But how did you two feel about that?
The thing is, I think with storytelling
also, where did you watch it? And note that as well.
I watched it on my computer monitor.
Good size?
Yeah, good size.
Okay.
It's 27?
Okay,
no.
cool.
Is it bigger than that? 32? I don't remember.
Okay.
But
I watched it on a 50-inch TV.
Yeah. The thing is, too, like, at least on my monitors, I do have them low light because I'm obviously using those the most.
Yeah, and you don't want your eyes strained.
Exactly. Technically, I didn't have an issue, but there was a point where I had to, like, angle myself higher to see it better. Our
windows are behind or facing the TV.
Right.
And when it was still early enough in the day where there's some glare.
Yeah.
I was like, we turned everything off, and it was still a little bit glare.
I have blackout curtains, but like, it requires a lot of time for me to, like, make sure everything's covered.
I see.
So I just, like, and then there's still light coming through.
Yeah.
But yeah, my TV also faces
your TV
window.
or your screen?
Well, my TV, but that's why I generally don't use it very often. Okay. And there's just the way the room's set up. I can't put that TV anywhere else. So.
PC.
How did you feel about the
brightness? Is fine.
Didn't affect it too much?
No, didn't affect it.
Cool. All right. So going into the episode, what did you think of that initial just setup? Like, when the episode starts, we're seeing everyone getting in places, and then, like, that initial, like, okay, it's beginning. Like,
it's beginning to look like Christmas.
Good amount of tension. I felt fucking tense, like gripped to my chair.
It started with
Dothraki?
Sam.
Yeah, it's Sam going through.
He's looking at a knife. Oh yeah, he
had the dragon glass.
He has the dragon glass, and he's just like, fuck, dude. And then he's like walking, and he's like he is like visually like shook, and then like he
people
passes
head to
by.
the crypt.
Yeah, and you see him pass by, and then it moves into Littlefinger, or not Littlefinger. Fuck, I'm thinking Little.
He's not dead.
Into what the fuck is his name? Tyrion.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It does.
As he's going to the crypt.
Yeah, as he's going to the crypt, and you look at Tyrion, and the thing is, like, there's two things, because, like, everyone, like, Sam, he's been lying to himself, saying, like, dude, I've done this before. Like, why does no one believe me? And then there's Tyrion, who's like, he hasn't done it, but he feels confident enough. He's like, I've been in battles, I can do this. But he's told he can't do that. Like, you cannot.
I did find that interesting. Like, now you bring it up, like, they're both not the best fighters.
Yeah.
But everyone kind of, like, made it okay with Sam doing it. But
Tyrion had balls, though. He's never fought. He's never fought. But
that's what I'm saying.
I remember he got knocked out with the hammer.
Well, the first one, yeah. But Blackwater, he's fought.
Oh, he did fight. You're right.
And that's where he got cut.
That's right.
So, he's saying, like, I can do it, and no one believes him. And then Sam's like, I can do it, and people are believing him. Yeah, but the thing is, like, and it's funny because he's not scared because he knows he's staying in the crypt. So he sees Sam pass by, and he's just like, it looked like jealousy
I think there was a little bit of that, but I also feel like who's the one saying it's okay and not? For Tyrion, it's Daenerys, who's like, he's like, all right, I gotta listen to her. For Sam, it's his Night's Watch brothers, like Ed and John, and they're like, all right, your call. We're in this together. Yeah. We're the last three Night's Watch.
We're all in this.
Yeah. So I think that's like the main, but it's just interesting how they've been treated differently because of the organizations they're a part of and the people.
I noticed that contract and I thought it was pretty neat.
Cool.
And then from there, I don't remember where it moves on to.
Well, just like the whole battlefield, just like Do you have any initial thoughts of like that, the way they like set up? Like we saw the battle plans in the war room the episode before, but like seeing it on the field, what do you think?
Seeing it on the field, like it was a lot bigger. Like you see how these people that are there, you see everything they're doing. Like you see them constantly working the blacksmiths to make stuff.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't do much, you know, until you see them formed out of the castle and you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of fucking people.
Extras.
Yeah, it's a lot of extras.
Yeah. What, did you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I have thoughts on the initial rush. The first one.
Okay, so not the formations or anything.
It was kind of, and I was like, you know, I was questioning where the hell is Melisandre. And lo and behold, she comes at the right time, like the old granny she is.
It's funny because she came from the direction that the White Walkers were from,
which is why people were tripping out. I mean, you can tell like this was like, huh? They're like trying to look closely.
Do you think there's more to it than just her coming from that direction?
I don't know.
Because, like, I mean, I'm going to skip ahead. She takes the thing off and she just insta-dies. Do you think that she, I don't know, had something? I don't know if there's something more or not.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think there's more to it.
All right. So she lights the Dothraki blades on.
False hope.
Yeah, that was like, yeah. Okay, so from that point on, what did you think? Dothraki wave.
Well, real quick, I don't know if you guys see like the end of like when like the people that are doing the film, like they talk about these scenes and what they're trying to go through. So they were saying like they're trying to like.
So we're talking about the behind the scenes part, not the next time on.
Yeah, the behind the scenes.
Okay.
For this specific episode, they were talking about how they wanna like have a flow of like they're doing well, they're not doing well, and so that has to do with the ebb and flow. That has to do with the flame thing. Like you see the fire happen for everyone, and everyone's like, oh shit, and you can tell people are like, you know, some people are smirking. They're like, oh, we might have this, dude. Like fuck, we got fire swords right now, you know. And then there's the initial charge where all the Dothraki
and the catapult. By the way, there's catapults outside the walls. Mm-hmm. Which to me, I was like, and I talked to a few friends as well, and we were like, why did they have these things outside the walls?
Well, I don't like. It looked like they couldn't fit in the castle.
Winterfell's fucking big, and everyone was like, if you're not in there, you're outside.
What's funny is
or you're up top.
With filming, there usually people are able to do a good job of having what something inside looks and what something outside looks. For some reason, to me, the inside looked like it was.
When they were inside.
Yeah, when they were inside.
But when you do that grand shot.
Right.
It's Winterfell's big.
Yeah, but when they did the shooting, it didn't look that well. So, like, at least when they show the catapults, like, every time they run through the gate, there's, like, a fucking tower here. There's, like, you know, stairs over here for, like, to get onto the wall. It's, like, not even one catapult fits in that specific area.
But I feel that, to me, feels like a cinematic choice of making it feel claustrophobic because of the battle being claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I firmly, like, in the book we have shown here, there's a few things and just like map history stuff. Winterfell's not tiny. It's like one of the legit northern kingdoms. So there's definitely room for some catapults, and there was like none. I was like, okay, but so the wave goes in, and then it's fucking
snuffed out. Happy birthday.
What did you think?
I was like, that was quick.
I thought they all died. First of all,
yeah.
Some of them didn't.
There's like a handful.
Yeah.
Like
there was a bunch running back, like horses on their own, and people like running. Yeah. I mean, but I thought like
everyone
just
with a sword is gone.
I mean, legend said they're really these legendary fighters, and I was just like, man,
open field, you're done.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I didn't feel that though. I didn't feel because you know they do. They talk about. I didn't feel like they were the impact of them dying. Like it didn't affect me or didn't like. I wasn't like holy shit. Like literally a whole fucking.
I was just like.
Race is gone. Essentially,
I'm the opposite. I was like, whoa, that was fucking quick.
Yeah. A was quick. B, it's like that. Okay. Thinking of who's contributing what to the army, that was one half of what, or a third, let's say, including dragons.
Yeah.
A third of what Daenerys had to contribute going into this,
and the gone,
just gone.
Yeah.
And like, without even who knows what they took with them, but like that just lost. I'm like, Wow.
But not only that, like I'm telling you, like the impact of it also being like it was literally a whole race. Like that was the last of the Dothraki.
No, that was one of the bigger
Warrior-wise.
tribes. Yeah, that was one of the bigger tribes
Like,
that came with them. But
yeah.
there's still.
Well,
others.
yeah, but I mean, like that was like her whole like that's it. Like for Dothraki, like there's no more Dothraki following her.
It's crazy because
Yeah.
they pledged loyalty to fight for the throne, and that wasn't for the throne. That was just for humanity. And I was like, God, just gone like
For
that.
the Greater War. That was crazy. Yeah. So then after that, I think the fear came back. The ebb and flow.
Yeah, the ebb and flow.
And then just dark, like.
I thought when they rushed in,
Yeah.
World War Z.
Yeah, 100%.
like, fuck,
Everything
this is
about them felt World War
World
Z.
War Z right now, dude.
But the thing is, it felt like it until it didn't. Because when they showed the suddenness, I was like, oh, they're gone. Like, I legit thought we just lost Brienne, Podrick, Jaime, whoever else was out there, Tormund. I was like, they just got taken out. Like, 90%. And that was how it was going to be. But then I started seeing that they're fighting, and I'm like, that's not how this episode's going to go. Like I wasn't sure how they're gonna handle so many characters because I was preparing myself like you guys were for many deaths across minimal or significant characters.
Yeah.
But then once I understood that wasn't how they were treating those characters and there was gonna be like a moment for them, it started to like, okay, I can tell when it's gonna come.
I thought this was going to be like Red Wedding times 10 before going into it. And
With
then
like
when-
those
For
deaths.
the significant characters.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Protagonists.
just deaths. And
Yeah,
then-
and it's not to say like this episode had a shit ton of deaths.
Yeah.
Like there's piles
Well,
of bodies.
There's one logical reason for all this. Everyone that lived was in the room with Podrick when he was singing.
Right.
Podrick sang a magical song that gave them all plus 200 buff to their strength.
to
their
stamina,
defense.
fuck, because they were like
He's the group hunting horn.
they're like like swinging to dead people trying to survive. And
When
you can tell they're
Brienne
tired.
screamed of like three different times, I was like, "That's not a scream of battle. That's a scream of dying. She's dying.
She's
Is
tired.
she dead?
Yeah, like each
No.
scream is like
And I
is
was-
like.
I was amazed by Jamie with his bad hand. He was fucking people
He was
up,
probably
dude.
like holding it out while they're trying to bite or claw.
That's, I kind of wish they showed that. Like they didn't do
Yeah.
a good job, but I wish he would have been like, dink, like obviously with his bad hand.
I think
like,
the
just
intent was
knocking.
otherwise. Of like, we got those moments at the end when it was that montage
Yeah.
of just all the scenes. Like that was the moment where you see him just like,
That montage took a long time, but we'll talk about that when we
yeah.
get there.
So then,
well, before that, it was
Yeah.
the second wave and not second defense. It was
Oh, the
Grey
Unsullied.
Worm, and I thought Grey Worm was gonna go, but
Yeah.
then he decides to like go behind the
yeah,
barricade.
I
was
think,
like,
but it kept weighing on him. I don't know if he's gonna have issues with it. And this is something going into the next 3 episodes. I'm very interested in what they do and don't just like bring up. But it looked like it was a tough decision for
Yeah.
him to do that. And
The thing is, I don't think it's I mean, it could weigh on him, but it got to the point where so many people died. Like even if he allowed everyone to escape, like he left like his people to defend it while he ran back. That's what we're talking about, right?
yeah,
Okay. Even if he allowed them all to run back, like there would have been almost all those casualties still. Like
sure, no, I understand that. But him to make the decision to not stand
Yeah.
with them, I think the motivation is split because of Missandei. And now he's torn between his like, I've been bred into and trained for loyalty to an owner or to whoever I'm serving, and now he's feeling this. He's been growing this compassion and love for
and what's
her,
crazy is
for
this is
Missandei.
for these soldiers. This is why they like do things to them. They chop off their genitals so that they don't
they have one
to,
purpose.
Yeah, they have one purpose. They no longer have to deal with like these decision makings that this guy had to do.
Conflicts.
And he had that conflict.
I'm wondering if that's the reason though. Like, part of me thinks it was that. I think that's most likely the direction they're taking. The other part of me is like, I'm wondering. I've talked to a few friends about this. If they're gonna even like, I know there's been battles like the Battle of the Bastards and many countless ones in the world of Westeros, but it's been, for all intents and purposes, more not this. This was like, to me, their vision of hell. Like, this is the closest you'll see like the underworld coming to the,
Yeah.
and I think that might traumatize some of the people, like give them shell shock or like PTSD of some kind. I wonder if that'll be like any of the characters. Like, I know the Hound has sort of that, but that's more with the fire.
yeah.
But I don't know if like anyone will come out of this like shaken, just
Yeah.
like I'm not the same anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's too late for that. Given there's
Sansa. I could see Sansa having.
But I'm like talking about the people like
Yeah, the
Jamie.
main
Maybe
ones,
I
yeah.
can see Jamie maybe because he's been in normal wars, but he's never seen this shit or something. Like he's down south usually, or I don't know. That was one thing that I was thinking. I'm like maybe that. I don't know. So then the second wave is holding off, and
Dude, that whole scene, like the whole
Ed goes at this point around this time.
For me, it was very taxing to see them try to start this fire to prevent them coming in. I was like, fuck, like he can't show Daenerys, like, you know, it's good to
because
go.
the whole plan was Daenerys and Jon were off to the side,
Yeah.
like waiting.
I was like, why didn't they come in sooner? Like, I was like,
So I think, like, I was talking again to one of my buddies, and we were talking. I'm like, who in this group? Now we know of the older generation, like Tywin. He's a strategist.
Yes.
He knows how to command large groups of people. Several others, I think, that we knew could do that. Like maybe Robert Baratheon. I don't know, but like some of the other people that have gone now. Looking at who we had at this place, who do you think had that level?
Jamie.
Really?
Yeah. He's been in a lot of battles, and like, yeah, I felt like he's like a lieutenant.
He's been like a Kingsguard.
Yeah, he's been in the front lines though. I don't think he has the strategy. Like if he looks at a
from what
map
I
and he's like,
understand,
move these.
I understood he's mostly been Kingsguard. When he did fight, it was during Rob Stark fights,
And he lost.
and he was kidnapped in one of the first battles, I think, and then he did go after the River Run castle with
Right.
Blackfish, but
Right.
that wasn't real. He wasn't there fighting.
they surrendered.
So I'm like, did he? I'm uncertain. I would say that personally, but who else then outside of him?
I would. So this is not to the extent of what like the father of Tyrion was Tywin, but I would have
Well,
to
just
say
someone with any sort of level of.
I would have to say either like Jorah.
Tyrion.
Jorah to me is one of them.
Jorah.
The other,
What backs that up for you?
I
that
think
we know of,
I think
I'm
he's similar to Jamie, where he's had all that battle training, but he's also like much older. I feel like the way they depict him than what Jamie is. So I think he has the experience, and then he's been helping Daenerys with like all these different strategies. Like he's giving her all these like this is maybe like gonna be the best route for you. So I think he's got that going for himself.
Maybe. I think what he's given her is more advice in like
Just
the
like-
right and wrong
Yeah.
of things. But like Tywin was both a political player and a military strategist. He's like, I will give my daughter a political move, but that will open up a front for me to open into. I think like him. What's the lady? The grandmother, the Rose lady.
Oh, the one who said tells
Olana.
Tyrell.
Lena?
Tywell.
Her last name's Tyrell.
Yeah, Olena, I think. I think she was partial. She was like on that level.
Yeah.
But I don't know what Jorah. But anyway, like okay, even let's just skip Jorah. Let's give it to him. That's two people. Tyrion, and he's in the crypt. Like anyone that I feel like was competent, I won't think was in a position of command to help strategize like even in the war room. Like John's like, we're gonna meet him and we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Also, I
I was
think
like, what?
That's what he always.
I think also that's the type of enemy they've never faced. Like the
They should
style of
like
fighting.
some people did, and I'm like they should have had like Arya was asking Gendry. I'm like they should have a massive like all right staff meeting. We're gonna go over what they can and can't do, so you kind of have an idea. No, like
John's seen what they can do. So
there was that little group that went
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
Jorah, Gendry, Clegane,
Daenerys, kind
Beric. Yeah, Daenerys a little bit, and Tormund. So yeah, I just feel like that front there was lack of there was a clear lack of it. Also, with short notice, like they're
Hey,
just
but
like
what was important? Elephants.
I know, dude. Imagine, dude. So anyway, they come in. The fire gets lit. I felt like I was expecting that trench to be like fucking massive, like a moat level trench, and it was just like the size of this.
10 bodies can cover a patch.
It was just like. And I think around then is when the Night King had come, either a little bit before, a little bit after, because he brought in that fog of war,
You're right.
which
Yeah, he
added
brought
to
in
the
the fog of war.
difficulty of seeing
Yeah,
things.
and they were already fighting when they had to start the dragons were
you're
already
right.
fighting, because that's how Daenerys was.
They went out and started taking
Yeah.
out the people, and then that's when the fog came in, and then they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Night King." I was actually surprised he showed up as early as he did, in the just like no set plan. It was just like, "Hey, I'm here."
yeah.
I was expecting him to be like, I'm gonna bait him out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like when it comes to dragons too, like I feel the Night King had much better control of his dragon as opposed
He
to
had the least amount of experience.
I don't think
There was a shot where they're like fighting in the clouds and they go up towards like the moon. I was like, that's a gorgeous ass fucking directing shot where the two dragons are just like
fucking like on the cinema level of stuff. This is TV. Like this is television.
This is a movie.
This is full fledged. There was like 60 plus days of filming for this one episode,
God, yeah.
consecutive. Like it wasn't like
Yeah.
There was a 40-minute behind the scenes of this episode, and they're like, I'm never doing anything like that again. If anyone asked me, I'm never doing it. Everyone involved was like, never doing that anything. I'm glad I did it. Never doing it again.
He's like, now I know that I'm never gonna do it.
But like the guy that directed the episode, I guess he knew inklings of what this episode would be like a year or two before, and he calls Macy Williams, Arya, and he's like, I need you to start conditioning like now.
oh shit.
Like your endurance, because we're gonna be training for some stuff in a while, but I need you to start now.
Wow.
And she's just like, she in the interview, she was like,
He's
I was
like-
just eating some chili cheese fries. Like, hey,
He's
okay,
like, and
fine.
it's for the sex scene. The conditioning is for the sex scene. Like,
Yeah. So the bridge, the moat thing happens. Then
Yeah,
I just
they-
want
they
to
cover-
bring up. Damn, Leanna Mormont went out like a gangster, dude.
damn, yeah, dude, I was fucking coke canned her.
Went out like a gangster.
I first thought she was dead there when he just backhands
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe.
I
don't know.
didn't think she was gonna die there, but I thought
There was just so much uncertainty.
I know.
Like,
But,
I was like,
when I saw the
it could've,
backhand,
it
I'm
could've
like,
not.
dude, she's gonna come back and kill him, but I don't know how. I don't know the exchange,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
And like when he grabbed him, like, okay, she's not gonna kill him, and then it still happened. So it was cool.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That was an epic scene. Yeah. It was a good way to. And I was again after the episode, they were like, we literally didn't write anything beyond that first initial encounter with her character this last season, or the season before.
Yeah.
And she became such a powerful thing that we're like,
They
have
kept
to
her.
do more with
Yeah.
this. And like,
When you guys were watching, there was a lot of close calls.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever feel like you saw a character like, oh, safe, not gonna die? For me, I had one.
Who?
Sammo. I just felt like Sammo is untouchable. I think he's the narrator. He's the narrator of
Dude,
Song of Ice and Fire.
that fool's a fucking bitch, dude. Like, fuck that dude, man. Like, the whole time he's like, I can do this. Like, he's fucking false hopes to everyone. And yeah, like, dude, his buddy saves him, and then just he gets stabbed, and like, and Sam's like, and he runs away. What a piece of shit, dude. Oh my god.
I mean, yeah.
I think he's safe.
I didn't think it like okay. I thought he was gone a few times, but then when he wasn't after those first few, I'm like, he's not. But then when John at the end like looks at him and then turns and keeps going, I legit was like, he's like his friend is about to die, and he's like, I have to go towards the mission.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's if there was ever a time, it was now, and I'm not sure if it happened. Again, I wasn't sure, but. I didn't have it like a.
He's an off-screen death.
Well, I thought it would cut back to it because it was montage, and I
it's just
thought
like,
it would be like.
Here's another question. Did
Well, I'm trying to think of. I think the safe one for me.
I didn't have a single safe character. Safe character. Melisandre, I guess. Fuck. Shit.
Wait,
might as well-
Melisandre or
Yeah,
Melisandre?
No, Melisandre.
might as well die. Did my job.
She was like in the fucking room the whole time, just hiding.
Okay, I got one. Not Barrick. Clegane.
Oh yeah. His story's not done
Because
yet.
Clegane Bowl.
Yes,
And I have a
yes,
theory
yes.
about that one. It's a bad theory, but I don't want it to happen, but it's a theory. Oh, this is someone's like Samuel fighting at Winterfell.
Yeah, seriously, dude. And he wins. It's fucking.
He's just like frantically, nervously swinging his arms randomly. Yeah, what was your second question?
Did you think that? Wait, so I'm not even sure. So, did all the dragons die, or
I won't
No.
say because they show a next episode thing, and you get an idea of
I
whether.
saw it?
Well, it shows one of them like hug.
Yeah, at the
Oh,
end
you're
you
right,
see
you're
Drogon.
right, you're
You
right,
see
yeah.
Drogon,
Yeah.
Okay.
You see him like.
and I
hug her
legit
guys.
thought he died when the fucking things were on him. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, not like that.
He's just like.
Fucking, why did she land him? I'm like,
I know, right?
She's done this twice, like at the north beyond the wall. She like stayed way too long and just like go, and she's like, huh?
It was funny when she did the Dracarys. I was like, yes. No, he's
was
a
like,
T1. He's a T1000. And then there's a moment where
he was like gonna start doing.
there's a moment where he busts out the spear. I was like, dude, this guy got aimbot, dude. This guy has aimbot.
Daenerys, like, I love that scene because Daenerys has that fear. She's like, I'm gonna lose another fucking dragon. Like, this can't be.
There's a cockiness.
And he missed.
Yeah. Well, she fucking last minute dodged that shit.
But he was close.
I know.
Hit or miss.
I mean, he was smiling, so that threw him off.
Made him smile.
Yeah, that was interesting. And then he misses, and he's headed to Bran.
Okay, so
He's walking.
Oh,
slowly.
you can go back a little bit.
no, this is going forward.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck was Bran doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Is he
100%
recording
sure.
history? Or-
No,
I'm 100% sure it's gonna show later on.
I hope so, because he took those crows from
Past.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Cold Hands?
Sending messages.
Or somewhere else? Or Howland? Or...
I think he's setting something up for
Daenerys?
the next fight.
Daenerys.
We're
Oh,
gonna
not
have-
fucking Cersei. Why
Yeah.
am I saying Daenerys?
Maybe.
I think he's setting something up.
But
for
it
that.
went... I thought it went north. I couldn't tell. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
My
I
bearings
can't
were off,
fucking tell
but
directions.
they went in some direction, and they just kept going, and it took his attention the entire episode.
You're right because it was going towards the side that the Night King was coming from.
But I don't
which-
know where he was at
exactly
at the time
because he had already broken through, and
Yeah,
that fool was
yeah.
and he like or the wildlings. What's his name?
Theon?
Tormund.
The Dorman.
Oh,
Is that the Tormund? He was like when he went to Jon Snow. He's like we had to go like around them.
Yeah.
So they were I don't know where the fuck
Yeah,
they
who
were.
knows?
What a useless guy.
But to go
Bran?
back,
See, this is...
Leave
I had
me out
another
in the
I had-
open.
I had another idea for a strategy. They should have had Tyrion. I was like, okay, Tyrion's a good strategist, but if he's out in open battle, he's dead. So what they should have done, crazy theory, hindsight,
ninjas.
Bran's in the war room with Tyrion.
Yes.
And Bran's using crows to like just get a lay of the land, relays it to Tyrion. Tyrion's planning strategies, got people moving pieces on the board. He's relaying the info to Davos, and Davos is fucking like hand signaling Jon and Daenerys, and like maybe I don't know Podrick or
Yeah.
someone to like be like commanding people to like
move
left
them up
flank,
there.
go this way or that way. And that I think it would have been more like if one piece falls, it falls.
And you have to explain how people know these signals.
training, but fucking Kevin McAllister could have held Winterfell better than us.
He could have just
micro
booby
machines.
trapped.
The Night King comes up.
He could have just
Dragon Glass micro machines.
he could have just
Steps
booby
on
trapped the whole fucking thing. No one had to die if fucking Kevin fucking did this
Just
shit.
steps on a nail of Dragon Glass.
Like just turns it, just dissolves and shit.
Brad's just sitting there like.
So let's go back. So they've broken through. They
Everyone's inside the castle.
They turned out the fire. They've been climbing the castle. We had a giant break through the door. Who killed Leanna? Or what's her name? Lyanna. And
But
so
on the
now-
upper wall, like I thought again, Jamie and
Yes.
Brienne were dying. I was like, this is their blood pact. They're gonna like die in each
Dude,
other's arms.
it showed Jamie saved Brienne because she was getting overwhelmed, and then it shows Brienne saved Jamie because he's getting overwhelmed, and you're just like, fuck. At some point, they're both gonna get
I think
overwhelmed.
Jamie kills Cersei. I honestly.
We'll talk about that.
This felt like Dynasty Warriors times 100. Like you're
World
just
War
like,
Z. Samuel.
And then we have this is the weirdest part to me. We have Arya just fucking ninja like 15 goddamn.
that was awesome.
which was like I was like that's so sick. And then eventually she's like I can't do this shit. I'm like what the fuck?
What do you mean? When?
When she was running away from like
Did you not see what happened to her?
she crashed into the wall.
Someone smacked her head into the.
Oh, I
fucking-
didn't see the smack part. though.
Like,
it's too
I-
fucking dark,
And
man.
then it became Metal Gear Solid.
It's too
Yeah.
fucking.
Like so, I didn't. I saw a close up of the weapon. She had the spear, and the other thing was that the center was detachable.
Yeah. So she
and
made it.
since
into
she
two.
made like two.
Yeah.
I was like, "Fucking, this is some badass shit."
So it wasn't a
And then
spring
s-
action.
Yeah, and then she gets knocked in her head. Like you see the blood there, but
I
it was
did
like one of them ran into her, and she just took a hit.
Yeah.
Kind of like got thrown off, and from that point on, she was like, "I'm not like 100%."
Was it the Hulk? Yeah, I didn't say anything.
So so she gets disoriented. She probably had this confidence, and when she got hit, it like knocked her out of this confidence. Because I feel like she almost was a different person when she was.
You take a hit that like, at least to me, I watched the replay of that scene. It hit hard.
Well, what I'm saying is like she it's almost like she reverted back to what she was before, like this whole.
Well, I think so. The combination getting into that, she lost the two weapons. Like she's now disarmed. Like no, she hadn't. I don't even think she had needle on her. Maybe she did.
No, I think she still had that knife the whole time though.
Yeah.
But obviously that wasn't what something she was. Actually, she used something on one of them.
Yeah, it was probably something.
She runs into like a library thing.
Yeah,
she's trying to dodge him.
I think it was to recoup.
Dude, there's that like that.
There's scene.
No, there's the whole thing is tense, but there's a scene where she's finally about to run through the door and she takes a turn and immediately just like I was like, dude, if that was anybody, she would have just murdered that. She just fucking threw the fucking throat. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be fucking
Padre?
No. So because at that moment someone was already trying to save her. It was Clegane. So I thought he was gonna pop out and she's like
rewinding. There's a scene where she shoots an arrow at a white and it was close to Clegane. I was like, oh, she wanted to. She wanted to.
I like how nothing snaps Clegane out of terror except saving baby girl Arya. He's like, not my baby.
Tell that to her. He's like, oh shit.
Barrick's running support. It's like, Clegane's stunned. Kick. And then they're inside now. They're doing that tense like hallway scene, and it's just like hallways of just zombies.
Dude, there's a scene where she runs into like a dead end hallway, and she like runs this way, and then from there it cuts off to Clegane and the other guy, and they get to almost the exact same looking hallway, and I'm like, she's hiding in that corner, and the fucking door falls over with her about to get chomped on and shit.
Yeah, it was fucking freaky. So Clegane and Barrick show up. And then
they make it into that room with Melisandre.
Barrick keeps on getting stabbed.
Barrick becomes the barricade.
Yeah, it's fucking skewered.
I legit thought he died doing this. I'm like, wait, he's in the room? Katie was like, he's in the room. I'm like, huh? How the fuck did he?
You didn't see, you missed it when like they held.
I didn't realize he got. Yeah, I was like, this is his montage of dying. Yeah. And then they're closing the door, and then I'm like, wait, he. Okay, sure. He's dying one way or another, but
I thought Melisandre was gonna save him. I was like, because when they turned around and she's there and is like, move out of the way. And then
her purpose was to be hype woman, blue eyes, green eyes.
What do we say to death?
Oh,
she's like, attack up, attack.
So that's the thing.
So that quote was the blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes was back in the day.
Season 3.
Season 3. She said it to Arya.
Yeah, she sees Arya and she's like, You've there's many people that something dying and paraphrasing
and blue eyes,
and then she names 3 colors.
Blue eyes dragon.
So the thing is, this is a theory that one of my bosses had. She says green eyes.
Yeah, and someone has green eyes in the show,
and someone in the show has green eyes that hasn't gone yet. But then I told them like, but this is like it's already been said that this is how it's gonna happen, and they're like, what if this person dies, she takes their face.
Yep, could be.
And takes.
Well,
takes
okay, I want to talk about some. You're saying it's already been said how it's going to happen.
Well, so
what are you basing it off of?
I'm basing it off of
a prophecy.
A prophecy.
Do you know what other prophecy was given to us?
Azor Ahai.
And that shit got thrown out the window.
Shit, man.
Well, what like
that Azor Ahai would be is the prince that was promised to stop the Night King.
What if
she is?
What if she?
And there would be a fire sword that.
Still Needler could be fire sword.
And you kill a love. I'm just saying to stop the Night King. To stop the Night King.
Just kidding.
So if it happens, it's happening after the fact.
Yeah. Azor Ahai.
I mean, obviously, there's things we can't nitpick. Or I mean,
no, I'm not nitpicking. I'm just saying that prophecies don't always like go the way we think, like as accurately.
Especially Melisandre's prophecies.
I don't know if that has to do with like timing on how they can write everything left for fucking 3 episodes.
What do you mean?
I mean, so there's 3 episodes left. After this episode, there's 3 more left.
Correct.
So I don't know if they were like, we can't write everything that we've already set everything up for, and they have to like, so they had to ignore this Azor Ahai stuff as opposed to just having Sansa or having Arya like have a fucking fire wielding sword that ends up being the Azor Ahai or something. I don't think they're having enough time to write a lot of the stuff.
I think they planned this out years ago. Like they're meticulous enough to like go through it.
Because when they were talking about Leon, what's her name? The girl who dies. I felt like that was a last minute, not a last minute decision, but that was a decision made within the time that
But
they
how
were
much
still
did
writing.
that change?
Not much.
Okay.
But I still think a lot of it's been changed at the end.
Okay.
So
We're whatever. We'll see.
we will see. But I mean, that's obviously, these are our theories. Like, it could be anything
Sure.
goes. The theory was that Arya was going to do it, and I didn't believe that theory. I thought it was not going to be her, but here we are.
Yeah, I kept thinking, like, I know everyone was like, that stick. They were thinking the stick was going to be how Arya gets it. As soon as that stick was gone, I'm like, well, there goes my bet on that. And then...
Well, when she does the jump, I thought, like, for a split second, I thought she has it. It's just going to spring out. And then I was like, that's not even what that is. And then...
Oh, the weapon she had
Yeah,
earlier.
the
All right,
weapon
see,
she
I
had.
see.
Yeah.
That was a cool shot. The way it was shot.
You just see
Slow
him
motion.
and then just like right
like,
Dude, my favorite thing is like the way it shows before she gets there. Like, it shows the hair of a White Walker, like, and he's like, huh? And it's like, dude, she's moving at the speed of light or something, dude.
Well, I saw people saying like John was in that same area and he's like, "How'd you sneak up on me?" And she just doesn't even answer.
Yeah. And I think this has to do with her ability to be like
training.
The fact that I think she's gonna become like a better Many Faces.
Going back, there's
person.
a scene where she's fighting and Sir Davos is like looking. He's like,
Yeah,
like
dude.
damn. Like, Jesus is like,
Scouters are like, oh. But even when she did get there, I was like, like it was such a. Oh, good.
oh no, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, that whole moment, up until the things happened, I did not know what would happen.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, okay, she's about to do something. I'm
Yeah.
like, he could just end her right now. Bran could just do something because he's got powers that are useless, apparently. All these, and I was like, what is processing?
But before that,
Yeah.
Theon. That's a good redemption.
That was.
The thing is, like, I'm putting myself in like these shoes, and obviously everything can be different. But like, if I'm on my last moments, like this, it's just me, and there's like 16 of these fucking badass dudes that are about to like attack probably, and I'm running to attack them. I'm holding the spear for dear life, and if he grabs it, I'm going with it. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, you know. And that's just the one thing. I was like, it would have been cool if like it showed him like pulling. He's just like, oh, like it didn't really do that much. But I mean, that's just for me, it's nitpicking.
I think it was maybe his energy level. I would
true,
if
yeah.
I were to be like, he's literally and then he just swinging this fucking he's
he
probably
was
like
dead
monster and his
tired.
stamina just zero.
He was dead tired because he was like, and he like looks up and these are his ears like, fuck.
Early on, it reminded me of Legolas, just like, but not Legolas because
When Bran said
Bran's out of arrows.
Bran
Legolas
said
was
his stupid thing, "You're a good man," Theon. I was like, "Yep, he's dead."
the kiss of death. It was not. I think he did it. It was more. He didn't need to say it, but Theon
I think he
needed
needs
it
that
to-
closure.
like closure
Yeah.
for him. It was
Because
like,
he's always apologizing to everyone. Like, after all these events happened to him, and he's like, I'm sorry, like, I wasn't there. I'm sorry I wasn't like the man you thought I was or whatever. And ultimately he's like, these guys raised me. I need to go back to them and help them out. And he was able to fulfill that moment that he needed, you know?
It's crazy
he's
is,
thanked and everything.
Like good writing. Like I would call him Reek when he was like just I hated this dude, and then once he redeemed himself, he gets his name back, Theon.
That's tough though, because that for him, reek is such a powerful word, and I don't think anyone else really knows that word. I mean, well, I guess because he
Sansa.
says, yeah, he's like, I'm reek or whatever.
Sansa knew.
Yeah, and I guess she could have told people.
Oh, Yara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what? So,
There's all the montage stuff and John running to Bran.
dude, that montage is. I thought I was like, oh, it's over. I'm like, fuck, it's not showing anything, and I'm like, that's a long ass montage.
It at first didn't hit me, and then like the less other sounds went away, the more the music played. I was like, "This is fucking epic." Like we were both quiet. I was like,
And that's exactly what that scene wanted you to do.
This might be controversial. A lot of comments on Twitter saying Arya's a Mary Sue. Totally disagree.
"What is a Mary?" I don't know what. That
So
is.
it's like an OP female character.
Okay.
That has.
It's like Superman.
It's
But see, which I don't get is why don't people get pissed off at Superman? He's OP.
No. Mary Sue is a female term only.
Yes, it's
in
only
regarding to writing something that doesn't make sense. Like you haven't explained where this power comes from, what this does. And
so is this are the people that haven't seen the last 7 seasons saying this?
No, more than likely not. It's just
like
it's people that forget like what has happened.
Okay.
And they'll just like it's kind of like it's a written thing where it's.
So what you're saying is controversial?
Yeah, I mean,
How,
there's a lot.
I
of
feel like that this is the correct. I think what you're saying is the right one. That is not that she is not a Mary Sue.
But yeah, like
that term is also used for males too, though. I've seen the main character from Ready Player One. People call him a Mary Sue.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
I never even. It wasn't even like I didn't know how it was used. Anyway, but I understand what you're saying. She told. It wasn't like I felt like anyone could have done it, but like. Leading up to this, Arya, people were saying that weapon she's gonna make is for the Night King.
Yeah.
There was
here's the definition: the type of female character who is depicted as unrealistically lacking in flaws or weaknesses. Superman.
But it says
it says female, but Superman.
Okay, yeah. It depends on how it's written, honestly, and I feel like she has flaws.
Yeah,
and
she was almost near death so many times, and
like more times than the other callback. I don't know if I'm paraphrasing, but like, I think Bran says something about like no one being able to kill the Night King, and Arya is no one.
That's pretty cool.
Callbacks.
I want to watch that. See
I'm making a educated guess, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
I think he says no one's been able to.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
You might be right.
That's just like.
But when I hear no one, I'm like,
yeah, no one.
No one.
And that you can still make that reference, even if you said it the way I'm saying you might have said it. But so we have.
But that montage, like going by everyone, and then John, like
he walks by like certain people that are like he's just like watching that. He walks by Sam.
Yeah, and then the dragon.
I thought the dragon was gonna burn him. I thought it was gonna burn him, and he's gonna be like, "I'm fine."
So I had a theory very early on when they were with the dragons, and I paused it real quick before the episode really started. I was like, Katie, I think something's gonna happen where like John is surrounded by zombies or something, and he's like, "Kill him!" And Daenerys is like, "Oh, fine, Dracarys," and blows them all away, and she thinks she took John with him. And then John fucking Terminator naked.
That would be crazy.
And I thought it would be in front, like people would have seen this and added complexity to whatever happens next.
That would have been cool, actually.
Then people are starting to believe in this, and she's like, "Fuck, I did it, thinking I was killing it," and like
I thought something similar was gonna happen.
With the last part you're saying, that could have easily happened.
I thought something similar.
I can finish the book now.
No, I thought something similar. I thought she was gonna burn. But I thought what would have happened is he would have met up with the Night King. They would have been fighting, and she just like wanting to get rid of the Night King just burns everything.
Okay.
And like he would have been he would have been fine or something. But neither of them happened.
Yeah, but the facing the dragon was pretty. Like the visual of that was really epic, and like how he was pinned down, and like I was telling her after because it made me like get out of the tension of the whole episode. I was like, John legit thought for like maybe 5 minutes that he yelled a dragon to death. Like, because he didn't know what happened in the next room.
The fucking drills.
He was just like, fuck it. Just like, fuck you. I like that.
God damn. Yeah, he had nothing else to do. Like, he tried to like run back, couldn't do it, run there. He hid him behind the rock, and he was like, I need to like go. And he tries to run forward, realizes the dragon already saw him, and he's just like yells out. Damn. And then there was moments where like Brienne, Jamie, Podrick.
I think I saw Podrick twice this episode. Barely. I was like, all right, he's breathing.
The crypt scene happened, and
yeah.
I thought Sansa was going to commit suicide for some strange reason.
I thought Tyrion was going to commit suicide.
I was like, this is like weird. Like,
so she busts out the sword,
the
dagger, whatever. I thought she was gonna hand it to Tyrion. Tyrion's just gonna be like, "I'm gonna just die," and runs out to like stop as much as he can or whatever. Actually, I thought they were gonna kiss for a second too.
Yeah,
I thought they just be like, "Fuck it." it's straight up like was that type of tension to me. I was like,
bring back the marriage. Like you weren't the what? You weren't the worst of them. I was like,
we're not technically divorced. I mean, no.
Yeah, I didn't. fully grasped. And I legit was like, why hasn't Varys died yet?
Dude, I was thinking about Varys. He became one of the most useless characters. He was one of the most powerful.
Now that this shit's gone, I think he's gonna go back into useful.
For some reason, I can't trust him, man. I can't trust him.
Really?
I think he's gonna do back.
So he's a
backstab.
Zora High.
He's a double agent. Double
A
agent.
triple agent?
Triple
He's like Spider Woman.
I think he plays
she's
whatever
like a
side
triple-
he plays with, whatever side he thinks is.
But like, okay, I don't know about that because since her birth, he's been planning the return of the Targaryens.
No, he plays the side of the best for the people.
But he didn't even know whether the Targaryens were going to be the best for the people. He did it since like her birth, for both of them, for her and her brother.
Yeah.
For better or worse, like she was. So I think there's something more. I don't know. Like
I think he's Littlefinger with the mask on.
Nah.
in the Crips, Littlefinger gets him, switches bodies. I don't know.
So when it comes to the crypts, though, like the Night King revives
Everything.
all these dead bodies. So he revives important characters that have died in the crypt,
thought we were gonna see
except for
Ned.
one person. Ned doesn't come back.
We didn't see.
Supposedly, that's the thing, is like I can't tell, but my buddy was telling me that supposedly they were hiding behind Ned's gravestone, and the reason he didn't come back to life is because his fucking head's chopped off. Is what
don't
he's saying.
think that's-
But yeah, I was like, dude, there's no way
I
to
saw
know who.
plenty of these things with like every limb. Which
they're just generic fucking bodies that were coming out. So there's and so there. It was strange to me because then the whole scene where like they're either gonna like kill each other or one of them was gonna sacrifice themselves to run out and like draw them all out. The next scene is they're both running like towards the exit or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck?
But then they meet up with Varys and them. They're like, hey, we made it to you guys.
Also, I don't think that girl died.
Missandei?
No, the Scar girl. Remember Davos?
Yeah, it doesn't show her.
Oh, it showed her once.
It showed
she
her
was
once.
just like pouting, and then that was before the
okay.
battle started.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I thought she was gonna die.
Yeah.
They might never show her
So
again.
okay, now I feel like we covered the episode, like the beats,
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
and then the last moment, fucking Jorah's last stand.
Oh yeah. Damn. That's
That was the closest to I felt like Boromir, like just fucking going till
like
nothing is in the tank.
forever friend zoned.
She gave him buff that time.
he went into the reserves because like
He went, he was down and he came back, like
'cause
resurrected.
The thing is, like, the moment that the Night King dies, it shows all of his minions just collapse, and he collapsed like near instantaneously the moment he saw them all. So he's just like immediately sees like it's safe, all right, and he's just like drops.
I mean, even before that, there was that scene where everyone that died came back as a white. I was like, oh no, how are they gonna get out of this?
And he's like, I could do this all day.
Dude, the fucking smirk this fucking Night King motherfucker has is
Hey, Daenerys did something.
shit.
Winky, winky.
God damn it, dude. So yeah, I think we've covered the episode pretty well then.
And then it ends with Drogon coming back and credits hit.
No more months.
Yeah, all the Mormonts out. Do you think Heartsbane goes back to Sam? Because Sam gave Heartsbane to.
Please give it to someone that can use it.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe thinking about what's happening next. I think it could be. I don't know. Maybe. Daenerys is going to be in. I think I've won whoever's left their favor or their support because I fought with them. My people died for them, like Unsullied Dothraki gone. And they might be like, we did it. You're our queen. Maybe.
I think
In that
Daenerys
route?
dies.
Does or
Yeah,
dies?
does.
Oh, does, yeah.
Does die.
Huh?
I think she does die. That's what I meant to say.
In this next episode?
No, I don't know. I think within the next episode,
I'm just talking about like
The
the
next-
immediate, like
okay.
winning the favor of people
Yeah.
to rally or not. Because she just fought their war. Now it's like you're gonna return the favor. And
Well, what do you think has happened between?
what I'm getting at is I think she's gonna go and make nice with people, and I think she's gonna be like, you know what, in honor of you gave to Sam, she's gonna go to Sam and be like, you gave Jorah the sword that protected me. I want to bring it back to you.
I think that sword's fucking forgotten. I don't think
They would not forget Valerian steel.
They're gonna forget the sword.
Why?
I just think it's going to be. I think it has to do with the same thing like Azor Ahai. It's just going to be forgotten. They're not going to write into it. We'll see, obviously, but that's just what I'm thinking. Okay. Like we're trying to cover every single base, and
that's not a big base to cover, though. Like
which is why I don't think it's a big deal for them not to write it in. It's not a big base to cover, so they're just going to be like, whatever. That's just my opinion, and we'll see. We'll see.
So what else do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, next episode, like, do you think they're going to battle again, or is
not
it like
immediately.
Chill? Okay.
No,
I think it's prepping to battle.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be chill. There's still a conversation between Jon and Daenerys,
maybe,
about them being Targaryens and who the actual next in the throne. I mean, there's no question to who it is, but she still has to prove that he is the person he says, because she simply told him, and then was like, "Who told you?" The two people that I like, that are on my side essentially, and she's like, isn't that kind of weird? And
yeah,
then
but there was a book
happened.
too. She's like, there was the book that shows that he and her wed.
Right.
I think the only part.
I mean, Sam can show it, I guess.
I think the only part that's missing is showing that he's their children. Like, they know that those two had, like, she was saying he raped her. Well, they had a marriage.
I don't think there's a question about it. Well, because the thing is, we know that. At least according to Daenerys, the father had raped the mother, but then he's saying like, no, it was a mutual thing. They even married.
Yes.
Yeah. So
she doesn't think that they ever married. I'm saying that they had a consent. They had a marriage that is sealed. Now, whether they had a child and it's Jon, they can't prove. All they have is what you're saying. Those two people. The birth is left up, and I think that's where Howland Reed could still come up. So. But it is up in the air. I don't know if
it's crazy that there's only 3 episodes left.
I think it's happening immediately.
Man.
Well, they're both
like the conversation.
The following episodes are all an hour and a half at this point, aren't they? Yeah, like so it's fucking three
movies,
4.5 hours of.
I still feel like it's
not enough.
Not enough time, man, to wrap things up. But we'll see.
I would argue. So my theory about the Clegane Ball, I want to jump into that real quick. I think, as we've seen with some characters, they're like, we've served our purpose, and then they kind of just like they're going. Mm-hmm. I think Arya has served her purpose in the big picture things, and I don't want to see her go, but I think the Mountain is gonna like do something horrific to her. Ooh. And then the Clegane's like fuck off and just like.
I have the opposite reaction. I think Arya gets a happy ending, and you know how like Ned always wanted her to marry. She marries Gendry, and they have a family. I think, but that could happen. Dude, anything can happen, which is crazy. But when is Clegane Bowl happening? Next
2 more episodes.
2 more?
No.
Second to last.
I'm thinking last.
Really? Wow. No, I think it's gonna happen at the end of the next, not this next one, but the following one.
What do you think? Do you have any theories of like the context of it?
How it happens?
Yeah.
I don't think it has to do with Arya. I think Arya's gonna be I wouldn't say safe,
right.
but I don't
something
think
else.
Yeah, I think danger will come out from somewhere else for her. I think with just the Clegane thing, I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna realize it's no longer his brother. Like he's gonna see like this is a revived dude. Like this isn't blood anymore. And I think that'll switch his head from going like I'm afraid of my brother because he's always beating me to like I can beat this piece of shit. Like I can beat this completely separate person who's no longer my brother.
I think he beats him with fire. Like something that he's afraid of. He overcomes the fear. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. But he beats him with fire.
You know what? I think he's the next in line for the Lord of Light. No, that Lord of Light, that Lord of Light thing. So I think somehow he's just gonna be fighting all of a sudden. Like he's gonna be like, but it just catches on fire.
It's not someone he loves anymore. It's like you said. It's just like another inanimate thing. So
right. No, right. But I think like,
oh, you mean the Beric Dondarrion type of role?
No. Well,
I don't understand.
Who's the guy that died in front of Melisandre? The guy who was getting Sam? Beric. So I think like he dies, and I think Clegane takes on that whole Lord of Light imbued type of power. I mean, he might not get revived if he ends up dying, but I think he'll have
my understanding, the fire thing maybe, but I thought the way the Beric thing worked was there was always a priest with you. Like Thoros was the Melisandre for Beric. Like he was like, okay, he's dead. I'm gonna do some of that.
No, right. But
not that part. You're saying just
yeah.
the
I think
sort-
because like I think there's still a way for him to receive that ability without. Obviously, it takes someone else to revive him. Like you can't do shit when you're fucking dead. But I think like there's ways to show the fact that he's imbued with it. You know, even though they might not revive him or something, I think it'll show like the sword lighting. I do think it'll have to do with fire. I don't know. Obviously, the speculation way out there is he fucking gets that Lord of Light ability.
Obviously, Cersei dies, but who doesn't?
Really?
I think so.
I think it'd be a swerve, and they could.
That would be crazy.
I think Cersei manages to kill Daenerys. Because at this point, if the way they write it makes it to where she's no longer important because the next in line is Jon.
They won't kill Jon because they did it once, and it just feels weird if they did it.
Unless it's permanent.
Well, Jon was brought back for a purpose as well. So I'm also thinking, like, what will his purpose be or end be?
To pave the way for Daenerys?
Maybe he does become a ruler. This isn't a big likelihood, but I'm like wondering if like they try to broker peace in some way, shape, or form after more bloodshed, and they're like Jon or maybe not Jon, maybe Jon. I don't know. Jon and like Cersei have to wed, and even though he wants to be with Daenerys, he has to broker peace and keep calm.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Why?
There's no way. You said Jon and who has to
Cersei.
Yeah, there's no way Cersei. There's no way Cersei and Daenerys are gonna stay alive together. I feel like there's that.
I think other heads might. The only rationale I have for that working is other heads will be like, we want peace. They're like, we want to kill each other, but
no.
What's more likely to happen, Cersei and Daenerys in a room, or Cersei and Bronn?
Cersei and Daenerys in a room.
Yeah. Again, I think both Cersei and Daenerys die. I think they both die. I mean,
you know why?
Episode.
It's Cersei and Bronn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the only issues on set I've heard.
I think they both died, not on obviously within maybe the same episode or so, but I think eventually it's Jon who takes the throne with a dragon, like a single surviving dragon. Which this like for now we assume there's two, and yes. I think if there is two, one of them will end up dying in this next coming in battle.
Right.
And it's probably that red one because it was such a weird look to me when the red one, the one who we saw that survived for sure,
Drogon.
Because there was the one where like they hug and kiss in that secluded area, and the dragon's like, and I was like, Daddy. Like I think there's gonna be something like that. Like I think that's the one who's using a.
I think if any dragon's dying, it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he has rode the other one though.
I'm still rooting for my man Tyrion to take the throne. I feel like a lot of people will die. I think Jon will survive, but he doesn't want it. He doesn't want the throne.
It's like a heavy lies the crown.
The reason I agree with you, I don't think he wants it. I don't think he'll ever will want it. But the thing is, he's always taking up the mantle, regardless of whether he wants to or not. Yeah,
he's like, I will. I agree with that.
No, he's like, my watch has ended.
That's after they fucking killed him. Yeah, but other than that, he was literally the head of it. Like he was the one, in front lines making decisions, like doing all these things. Yeah. And once he kills him, it's like, fuck you guys. They fucking want to murder me and shit. Yeah. But so I think he's gonna be forced into it by
just situation,
by the person that he is. Yeah, it's just gonna be like, fuck it. There's no one else. This bitch is dead.
I can see the likelihood of Cersei going. I don't know whether Daenerys will end up. I think that'll be heart-wrenching, and I think they could go for it.
I can say for certainty, like I feel 100% for sure, there isn't going to be any type of peace treaty between Cersei and Daenerys. Like there's just just not happening.
We do know that Bronn is.
What if Daenerys is out of the picture, and the only way Jon can broker peace is by doing something with it?
We do know Bronn has been propositioned.
Yeah, that's true. That's the wild card.
He kills?
I think he gets at least one of the two brothers. And I don't know.
I don't think he would get Jaime.
He's such good friends with Tyrion. I don't think he's gonna kill Tyrion.
Bronn?
Yeah.
They hung out.
Yeah, they hung out more than than Jaime.
But it was about money. It wasn't more about.
It doesn't matter. They had that connection. The fucking whores and money is their favorite things, dude. Like,
but he saved Jaime's life when the dragon was like staring him down, and he didn't have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't Jamie save him too at some point? Or he's just giving him money? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough.
But I'm saying that I don't, in terms of like actions, I don't think there's been a moment like that for Bronn and Tyrion.
Yeah.
But maybe there has.
I think
that wasn't for money.
I don't think he's going for it.
I think Qyburn gets fucked. Like, he's gonna get murdered.
Who's that?
The mad
The
scientist.
hand,
Yeah.
The hand
I
of
think he's
Cersei.
gonna die really badly.
but Arya still has one more face reveal to do. Like, she's gonna kill someone and do the face thing. Like, they're gonna do that cool face moment.
And J.R.R. Martin shows up.
What
He's
the-
like, the book is
thing is-
out.
It could be two.
And you're like, what? Credits roll. Everyone's in bookstores.
It could be too that like when it comes to the Clegane Bowl or whatever, that Clegane dies in this fight, and Arya is the one who's like, "You fucking piece of shit," and she murders him.
Like she already did, like that last time with Brienne. Like, remember she leaves him to die?
Yeah.
I see that sort of situation happening where it's like it's such a brutal fight, and yeah, Clegane like is either dead or dying, and Arya's like,
She just finishes it off.
maybe. Yeah.
Finishes.
I need your face.
But it could end up where Arya kills the Mountain. Is something as a revenge for killing Clegane. It could go that way. Could go the way that you're saying, where he murders Arya, and I just think
I feel like it's either murder or at least just like really hurt her, like crush her leg.
I think Arya is gonna survive.
Well, that's where I'm like, maybe, but I feel like that would like when they met at the peace moment last time in the Dragon Court, the Hound went and looked at the mountain, and he's like, I know what, so he's waiting. Like, he said something like, it's waiting for you. It's coming. Mm-hmm. And they walked, and like, he confronted him, but it wasn't like, I can end you. It wasn't like a high level. I feel like he's going to need like, just fucking like, just full rage.
The flaming
mode.
sword.
Huh?
Flaming sword.
I think that like at the end, once like all episodes are done, like it shows like a like whatever type of ending. I think Arya will survive, and I think she'll be written in to be like, it'll end with you knowing she is the next, like, what's that guy's name? Jean, the guy, the many faces that helped her.
Jacques.
Jacques.
Yeah, I think she'll be the next one. Like, it'll show her like already just know people, and like maybe even giving a coin to someone or
Valar
something.
Morghulis.
Who knows?
That'd be interesting. She gives it to Hot Pie. I'd like a pie, please. And it's Jack Ken's face.
This isn't a gold coin. I hate that they had an off-screen death for the uncle, the one who was a White Walker. He was like half White Walker, half Benjen.
This is before.
We don't know he's dead.
Well, I feel like he would have popped out this moment already. And if the Night King's dead, that fool's fucking dead.
There
now.
was something keeping him from going south. At least in the books. In the books, there's something preventing him from going south.
There is something too, because he meets up with Bran.
Oh.
And Bran and his team, he saves them. They're like getting fucking
after
overrun.
the Hodor wall.
Yeah, he's getting overrun by all the White Walkers, I believe, right? And he saves them, and then he disappears.
He's like, why don't you come back? And he's like, I can't.
Yeah, and he goes away, and that's it. Never comes back.
And then he saves Jon at that moment.
He's
like when Jon was gonna head back to Daenerys and the dragon. That's how Jon escaped that part.
I don't even fucking remember that.
Remember, like it was the episode.
That's when he died, Lord. I feel like he died.
Yeah, if there was any moment he died, it was there, but I'm not sure. Still.
Fuck, I guess I don't remember that.
You know who
moment.
survived this past episode? My boy Ghost.
Didn't even show him, dude. Like fighting.
Oh, he was in the front line with Dothraki.
with Jorah was fucking from the front line to the front. He stayed outside the whole time.
Damn.
That Ghost thing was, I think it's just an homage to bring Ghost back. But yeah, never
What do you mean
fucking
an
showed him.
homage?
Like, it doesn't, like...
He was back.
But it doesn't show him. Like,
That
I
was
feel
him.
Like, I know, but it's just a shot to be like, hey, remember this guy? And that's it. Like, complete disappears after that again.
Yeah.
Like, that's infuriating.
Maybe it's something to do with what Bran's been doing.
You know what? I thought Ghost was gonna die, and I was like, that's gonna be heartbreaking during that.
You're like,
Saving Jon.
that dragon. Oh my god! If Ghost took that dragon down, that'd be fucking awesome.
Imagine.
Like, the throat's already
like,
open, and he like
goes,
fucking-
yeah.
Dude.
Jumps into the throat and like just causes it to burst.
J.R. Martin's like, I'm rewriting this book. It's done.
That's what I needed.
Yeah.
Finishes it off.
I do think that I know no major people, not many major people did go, But the fact that they are around, but they've lost every like major resource that they have at their disposal to finish whatever else they need to do, I think is going to put them at a major disadvantage.
Yeah, they don't have a fucking army to fight.
They don't have
Cersei
elephants.
at this point. Yeah, they don't have an army to fight off.
So I
Cersei at
think
this point.
that is it sucks because we didn't see those deaths as you guys had said, and we were expecting that, but it's gonna make these last bits challenging in their own way. And there's 3 episodes. I feel like bad stuff's gonna happen as we've kind of all discussed.
I really do wish it showed like Cersei get damaged by the Night King somehow, like army wise, like maybe he fucking had 2 waves going either way. And she's like, fuck, like, I should have helped these guys out. Like, there's no fucking way anyone's going to survive if this guy wins.
I think she, like, in my head, I'm like, she pulled a Tywin where it's like, holy fuck, like, that's suicide. And it ends up being like, no, look at their army now.
Yeah.
Now they can't do shit again. Like, she's got a little bit of the strategy.
Yeah, her dad in her, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's obviously...
But, like, more so than Tyrion and Jaime, like, the strategy's there.
Yeah.
I wonder what else she has up her sleeve. Like,
I know that she's gonna have defenses for dragons. I know that for sure.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of like other like shocking things that you could do, I don't know what to expect. I'm still just calling she's gonna blow all of King's Landing.
What
up
if
with wildfire?
What if she has that mad scientist guy like make more Night King people?
No,
because they had they brought one of them over to her,
and he just looked at it and then walked away.
Right, but I mean, what if she's like copy this thing?
I think he did it out of self-interest, not even like her telling her.
But I think we're gonna see more White Walkers.
I don't.
I
think they're done.
No, I think we're seeing more.
No.
We're gonna see more developed by this. This
Well, what
guy.
about the mountain?
Let's put some money
All
into
right,
this.
money. Level 40 all over again.
But did we see if they like?
I mean, mountain
got
is
rid
sort of one, right?
Yeah. But I don't think.
You think he could do maybe more mountains?
No. I don't think he has a way of making it properly. And I think
the mountain like obeys every command.
No, right. But like you see, I mean, obviously, even the Walking Dead are going to be ugly, but I don't think like it's still done properly. I think there's still something wrong, like which is why this guy's constantly hiding his face. Obviously, he's hiding it because everyone's going to obviously know this guy's dead already. But I think he's going to be able to refine it where he's able to make more at once as opposed to just this. Because it took him a while to do the king. Like he stayed under for like a week or something like that or longer.
That'd be
I don't
interesting.
know what so, but did we see what they did with the White Walker? That one that they brought They killed it, but like we didn't see it get disposed of or taken by the other guys.
Qyburn sees the hand, picks it up, sees it move, puts it back down, walks back to his seat. And then everyone went their own way. So it wasn't really addressed. It was just like there.
And Kubrick is the mad scientist guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna do something. He's gonna make more fucking White Walkers.
I think he's gonna do something to Euron. Like he's like, the queen's taking an interest in you. And then he's like, like come this way. He's like, okay. And then turn him into an elephant.
I'm just thinking, damn, that mission to bring that white to Cersei was such a waste. So many people died.
Yeah.
And she didn't.
Yeah.
It was a waste.
And another funny thing was like talking about like waste and smarts and not. Sansa's like Arya's like Sansa's the smartest person I know. I don't know how to use this. Fucking stick him with the point. It's a fucking knife.
And that's a callback too.
Yeah, I know.
To,
That was good. That was funny. But then I feel like I don't know. Maybe the writings changed, but I feel like it's either the way they've written Tyrion or the way his character's at. It just doesn't seem like he's on point as much as he used to be. I feel like he should be aware of stuff better. Like,
Who?
Tyrion.
Okay.
And like one of the things I saw in the 40-minute behind the scenes thing was he's talking about being in the crypt scene, and he's like, if like Tyrion's pretty smart, but I guess he wasn't that smart to realize that we're going to a crypt and we're fighting a guy that can raise the dead. And it's funny. So I was like, oh, they address it, I guess, and even maybe behind the scenes they address it, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm kind of glad the Night King thing wasn't all the way to the end. I think it's a unexpected move, and it kind of brings it back to like the conflicts between the characters we've known for so long, like all these people.
But I think somehow the Night King mention of him will resurface because it's
what if a new one comes?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's either going to mention it in that form, like or something. Because the way Bran said it is like he's always been the catalyst for the Night King, or like the three-eyed ravens apparently has always been like the Night King has always attempted to murder the three-eyed raven, and it's always been a thing. So if that's always a thing, that means it's just like kind of like a loop. It's always something that's happening over and over. So someone else has to become a Night King, and it's just going to start all over again.
Maybe.
He builds
It's
up an
possible.
army, and so
mean,
I don't know
Children
if
of the Forest is still alive, right?
Some. I don't know how many, but there might be some.
They might make another one.
They just stab some random guy that's up there.
They stab Bran.
Like, fuck, all over again?
or what if it's the mad scientist guy who creates them?
Maybe. You're like all in.
All my chips are in there, dude.
Okay.
He's doing something with the White Walkers. I know that for sure.
Maybe.
We're making them, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed that episode. I also just on a scale of like accomplishment, that was impressive to pull that off. It's pretty cool.
All that fire.
Some beautiful shots.
Yeah, the dragon shit. I was like, oh my god, fucking good. Yeah, I like when it was funny too because we were like watching it. There was a lot of moments where we were both tense and we we're both like ah, and literally the craziest moment was when Arya stabs him and shatters. Katie goes, "Holy shit!" And I've never seen her yell that loud before. And I was like, "Oh my god, what is going on?" This is crazy. Yeah, good stuff.
He's just sees a job.
So that's the end of the spoilercast. Let's just go into what we've been up to this week.
Yeah.
Fergus.
I'm slowly setting up my OBS. And I downloaded I don't know, I had the urge to start playing some Final Fantasy 14 or 15. The Realm Reborn, the new MMO. I think it's 15.
14.
Is it 14?
MMO.
Oh yeah, 15 is the royal
the four boys.
Yeah.
Boy band.
Yeah, so 14. And for some reason it was like, hey, PS4 is giving the free expansion, which comes with the free month, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I had already bought the base game like when it first came out, so I was able to re-download the expansion, and I got a free month to play.
Blizzard's like, damn it.
Get them back, boys.
He'll be back.
I plan on for the streams I plan on doing like platinums, I guess.
That's a good.
I'm gonna be going back to old games and just
platinuming games.
Yeah, platinuming games.
I thought you were talking about
Just
platinum games.
I have a library. I have content I can make, and I'm never gonna apparently make it if I don't do it. So I'm just gonna go back and just try to platinum stuff I can.
Is there any games in mind, or just games
What's
you
the
own?
first game?
I plan on starting with
Knack.
Final Fantasy X,
That's a hard platinum.
and then Final
I
Fantasy
know.
X too.
That might be easier. 10 is hard.
Because I bought, that's the other game I bought with Days Gone. I bought the that double pack, whatever, for PS4. So I'm just gonna play them on that, and then probably from there I'm just gonna go slowly back into my catalog and pick games and platinum those games.
Cool.
But I think that's the first one I'm gonna start with, because I technically beat it on PS3. I just never finished it. Like I got to the end, I was like, all right, I'm gonna collect all of the legendary weapons I possibly can, and I stopped doing that. And I'm literally like, I'm at a save point right before I go into the last boss. And
This is on your PS4?
This is on the PS3.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna start over on PS4.
I'm gonna start over on the PS4.
Do you know what the platinum consists of?
The legendaries,
That's not the hard part.
the dodging 999, beating
You
a
gotta
chocobo race.
You have to fill up the sphere grid.
Oh, I can do that.
No, that's
I can
hard.
do that.
Time consuming.
Hey, I don't know if he listens to us, but Michael Yip did it. I can do it.
All right. I mean, he spent I don't know how many hours. But
That I don't either, but I'll do it.
okay.
You said it here.
You need
We
to
got
you need to
this.
use a guide too. There's a way to fill up the sphere grid. If you do it incorrectly, spaghettios.
I guess I'll just use the guide for the trigger. I guess.
Anything else?
I mean, as of right now, I can't think of anything else. I mean, obviously, I watched Game of Thrones Endgame, which we'll be talking about. We've already talked about. And what else? Oh, I got it. My tattoo, I guess. Which I mean, I can't show it to anyone here, but
It can be in the thumbnail.
nah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's all peeling. It's
fine.
been because I got it on Saturday. It's now Thursday. So yeah, it's starting to peel like if it was like a sunburn or something.
Do you like how it turned out?
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Cool.
Like the guy did a super good job, a super clean job.
Nice. How long did it take? Because it's in color and everything.
Yeah. I got there at 10, which is when he wanted to meet up, and then he got there around like 10:10, so 10 minutes later. He was getting everything set up. It probably took like about 40 minutes, so it didn't start to tune until like 10:40 or 11, and we finished around 3:30.
Okay.
So it's like 4 or 5 hours.
What do you do while that's going on?
So I brought my Switch, didn't end up playing it. I was just browsing my phone the whole time. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I felt like
I just wondered in general, like
I
when you're
couldn't-
tattooing for that long, like what do you do? Like,
I think if I was in a more comfortable position, but I had to be laying down.
Okay.
And then I had to have this foot tucked under my other foot. So I had to have my right foot tucked under my left foot.
Okay.
Because he's tattooing my left foot.
Yeah.
And he, instead of being on the side that my left foot's on, he was on my right
so you
side.
needed space.
Yeah. And so then I was in an uncomfortable position where I didn't feel like I could enjoy a game.
Yeah.
And so I was just there browsing my phone, and it didn't feel like it was very long. So
Cool. Nice. Jang, what have you been up to?
Watched Endgame, Game of Thrones. I watched Leaving Neverland. And,
the way
The HBO one?
yeah, and I had to stop. Maybe I couldn't watch it. Man, I had to stop like 4 times. It was that disturbing to me, and I was just like, damn.
So you believe it?
I do. I do. I mean, when there's smoke, there's fire. Even if like, I read an article.
There's still like things you can't just like explain that they've described or whatever, which I don't know.
There are inconsistencies in
Yeah.
the story. The article, there was an article that I read before watching the documentary. One is they found
Semen.
underage boys porno
Uh-huh.
with their fingerprints. I'm like, yeah, that's bad
Yeah.
enough, man. I was just like, and they go into graphic detail. It's one of the most disturbing things, and yeah, I don't know. All right, on to the next one.
You watched all of it?
I watched all of it.
4
I had to
hours.
stop. I had to stop like 4 times.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch it. So 4 separate days I would
Yeah.
have to.
Damn,
Man, this is
that's
too.
a
This
rough
is
week.
Yeah, I was like, this is too much, man. Like I can't. I'm not in the mood to watch.
I've watched
this.
15 minutes of it, and I was like, I can't do this.
Well, the first 20 minutes it's pleasant. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. And that's when he
Yeah.
did this. And I was like, whoa! It just turns like.
Yeah, so I watched it until the moment where he goes like, and that's when, and you'd never realize that he raped me, and then it's like, okay, I'm done.
But
It's rough.
I started watching Oz. It was the show I've always wanted to watch, and people always argue that Sopranos is the golden age of TV, but I feel like Oz was the experiment before Sopranos.
It's like the spark.
Right. And that's when I feel like the golden age of TV happened, and that's pretty disturbing too. So it's
I've
about
heard it gets fucked up.
it's a prison system, but there's this part of the prison where it's experimental. This guy wants to like rehabilitate like prisoners, so he brings everyone together, like murderers, rapists,
The extreme.
And there's a dude in there, and he's a normal dude. He just made one mistake. He got caught drunk driving, killed someone, and man, it's like it's not really in his perspective, but I feel like he becomes the main character, and that guy, fucking who's that drum movie?
J.K. Simmons?
He plays the head of the white supremacist. That fool is such a good actor, dude. Holy shit. Mr.
Scary.
Echo's in it from Lost.
Just him? I thought there was another guy from Lost. The dad? The black dad?
He is in it. He's like the narrator.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy's cool, dude. I love that actor. He's in The Matrix.
Yeah, I like him.
Sekiro, we beat Guardian Ape and his wife, which is a hard boss.
Have you beat Shrek yet?
Shrekira. I think I'm almost done with Sekiro. Because people were saying, "Oh shit, last boss." So I feel like
They're talking about you.
no. But I feel like Sekiro's not that hard. Shots fired. It's not that hard. I think Bloodborne's harder, to be honest.
I'm curious what you think of that final boss because I've heard that's where people. That's like the.
Which is funny. I've heard he is the hardest boss. I've heard he's not. I've heard mixed reviews.
Okay, that's why I'm curious when you get there.
Actually, a lot of people say Genichiro is technically the hardest boss, the guy that you fight in the beginning and in the middle of the game.
And you already fought him and beat him there?
Yeah.
It took you a while though, right?
It took me a day. Every boss took me a day. But yeah.
I'm curious when you get to that final boss. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
I mean, Bojang had a hard time, dude.
But Cuphead, hurry up, Xbox, bring the trophies. I think I'm just gonna play it, get A+ on the bosses because I want to S rank them, and that's a trophy. If I S rank it and I get the trophy,
so
it'll
and
hopefully
S rank are
lower.
different?
Yeah, I can't access S rank. I had to beat the game, and it's a harder difficulty than what it's at.
And that gives you a strength.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So you gotta do the whole game over again.
A+
after you've beaten it.
is pretty hard in itself. No, dude, no hit run. I'm not good at these types of games, and it's a lot of boss memorization. So I'm just like in RNG. So it's just like a mixture of both. And then I went to a Second Amendment talk with this author. He wrote a book about Columbine in Parkland. But it was very interesting. Yes.
One
thing I learned, which is crazy, is you know how like people want to ban assault rifles? He said he's an older gentleman. He's like, dude, people don't realize in the 60s it was the opposite. I was like, what the fuck? Like, because handguns could be concealed and you could murder people. He's like, it was the opposite. People they're okay with assault rifles, but they wanted to ban handguns, and now it's like reversed because of mass shootings.
Right.
But interesting.
Oh, okay. My turn?
Yeah.
It was a big week for Destiny, and I finally did the raid in this game. And I had never done this raid, and I never thought I would do a raid in this. I did raids in Destiny 1, but in Destiny 2, I was like, I'm never doing raids. Like, either I'm not going to have a group to go with, and I don't want to, like, do the whole looking for group process thing. It's like, I'm fine just doing solo stuff. Or like stuff you and I would do, Vargas or other friends. And I had a Friday, and I was like, wait, the night before we were doing just like the egg thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get these seals, their accomplishments. Like you've done these certain accomplishments or accolades, and one of them is to get 45 eggs scattered throughout this region, and they're available throughout different locations, different activities, different times of month and stuff
in the game. Yeah.
In the game. And 5 of them were in the raid, and 4 of them you could do just not even doing anything. You just go in. But one of them you had to go through the raid. So I had Friday off, so I was like, you know what? I don't want to be lazy. I just want to be lazy today. So I was like, I'm looking for a group. And some guys like, I'm looking to Sherpa a group that has never done it before. I'm like, fucking yes.
That's me right now.
And he adds me, and I got on my mic, and I'm talking to him. And he's like, all right, looking for other people. I'm like, yeah, I got all day. It was like 10. And he's from, this was an EU group. So I had to change my BattleNet to be EU. And he's from Denmark.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I hope the connection doesn't break. That's my first thought. I'm like, I'm on Wi-Fi because my computer is no longer where the internet is. And he gets a big group together. There's like 4 other people. 3 of them. So 4 of the other people in the group, including him, were guys from parts of Europe. Mm-hmm. And there was me, and then there was a girl that was from Utah, apparently.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, my husband's out. I'm just chilling, playing Destiny. I thought I'd see if I could do a raid for once. So I was like, okay. So we're all talking, and some people's mics have different quality, that as you guys know from like WoW and other Destiny stuff, and you guys have played in online games. And we're playing through it, and I'm just like, okay, just don't fuck up. Like, that's always my worry with these things. It's like, I don't want to be the weak link. And there's even a few points where he's like, all right, who wants to do what? And I'm like, give me if someone else volunteers for it, I'm fine. Just give me basic, do damage. I'm like, okay, I can do that. Like, I know my role. And that was mostly the role I had in each encounter was damage or just add clears. And there was one phase where he's like, I need one person. I need to give them the simplest instructions. Someone volunteered, and he's like, no, you said you've run some of this before, so I'm going to have you try to do something else. And so he's like, all right, Cujo, all you do is pick this up and hide. And when I say come back, and don't die. And I fucked up the first time. Because other
you
stuff
died
started.
or you didn't pick it up?
No, I picked up. I did something else, and I'm like, I didn't know I couldn't do that. No, he's like, no. When I said just do this, just do this.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, understood. And the other funny part is, my Discord, I think, because of the Wi-Fi, it says, in the bottom of Discord, it's like connected, not very good.
Keeps breaking up.
It kept going, like right when I wanted to start talking, they're like, we didn't hear any of what you said. And the girl from Utah could always, based on the few fragments of what I said, she would be like, he said he took out the night. And they're like, how did you decipher that? She's like, I'm good at understanding, like putting, and like throughout the whole thing, she became known as my translator. I was like, fuck my connection. And I knew, I was like, everyone's waiting for me to say something. I'm like, I'm waiting for my connection to get, because I can see when it's good, and then I start talking. But I'm like, fucking, I hate this. At times it always. We got to a point where I still don't understand the mechanic of what they were doing. It was that vault area. Like in the first time they did this raid, this area took people like 5+ hours to figure out.
Yeah.
I still don't understand what we did. Like someone else was in charge of doing it. I was like, protect them. We get to the final boss, and I was like, I gotta go. It was like 4:30. And Kay was on her way home. We had plans. It's like, sorry guys, I got, and I had already gotten the thing I needed, but I was like, I want to finish the raid. And so, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay. I probably got time. She's like, I'm staying a little bit extra. I'm like, cool. I think I could do this. And so we're going through the last segment, and I was like, legit, like, and every time it fell on me to do something on that part, I was like, what do I not understand? Like, I'm pressing everything he's telling me to do, and something would fail. The final run that we did succeed on, I literally did nothing to contribute to the mechanic. I was just like keeping ads clear.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they managed to pull it off without having me to. I was like, I don't care. We did it. I was like, fuck, that's so cool. And we all had this cool feeling. I haven't had it in a long time where it's like we accomplished a raid.
Yeah.
And it was the first time, and there's a cool sensation. And then everyone's like, all right, let's see if anyone is gonna get this exotic weapon that. I know friends that have been running the raid like weekly, and they still don't have this gun. 4 of us in this group, first time opening these chests, got that gun. Damn. I was like, fucking like, whew, what a day.
Did the Sherpa get it?
No.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, he might have already have it though.
No, he didn't have it.
Oh,
he's like,
shit.
I've done this 30 times. I still have it.
Fuck.
But he's like, it's fine. I'm good.
He's like, it's fine. Like,
well, apparently the next day he did. There's a certain triumph for doing that raid without anyone dying, and he did it.
Oh, nice.
So he was aiming to try to do that.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, well, that's fucking. I got my gun. I'm happy. So I played Destiny, watched Endgame, watched Game of Thrones. So I've been playing Switch a little bit. I've been trying to bounce between a few games, and also like after I did some of that heavy stuff on Thursday and Friday. I've been easing up on Destiny, which is kind of relieving. I'm like, oh my god, like I can't just keep doing all this like stuff over and over and over again. And I got that RNG to RNG to RNG. I finally got that thing.
Nice.
So I was like, fucking the hard part's done. I just gotta get a few little things. So I started playing on my Switch, and I picked. Have you guys ever played Picross?
Yeah.
Yes.
I never knew how Picross worked. I was like, this is a puzzle game. One day, I don't know. Maybe I'll understand it one day. It just never clicked. I was waiting at the airport for my dad, and I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to play this game. It took me like 2 or 3 like tutorials and like just following it, and I finally was like, wait, I understand now. And it was just like, what took me like 30 minutes now took me like 4. I was like, I'm hooked on it. There's so many puzzles.
Nice.
So it's been fun, and then not too much else.
Yeah.
Hyped for all the movies in May. So
Sonic.
yeah. Gotta go fast, bro.
Them teeth.
Yeah. So that will conclude part 1. Where can people find you guys?
They can find me at the Folio everywhere.
At the last bosses everywhere.
At Kujo Prime. You can find us all at the weekly DLC. And you can find us also on part 2, which we'll be doing in a second, which is going to cover Endgame, Avengers, Spoilercast. So until next time, we'll...
DLC.
You later.